My name is Horst Treiblmaier. I work at Modul University. My research focus is in blockchain cryptocurrencies. So I live in my own bubble. So please let me briefly know how many of you have an agent, AI agent working for you in some respect. A couple of you have. Okay, good. How many of you have more agents working together, some kind of agentic AI system in place? Is there anyone in here? Okay, good, because I'm going to show you what I did, because I'm a hands-on guy. I always need to try out things, and so I created an agentic AI system for finance reporting, and I'll show you what worked and what didn't work. And yeah, to start with, just last month I read a headline in the Wall Street Journal: financial firms, the financial firm can give investment advice in Generation C slang. So that means you just tell the AI system what you want to have or where you want to invest, and then it does it for you. I first was not sure if this was an April Fool's joke because it was published on April 1st, but it turned out it's a real article. And so I figured out I need to try this out. And to start with, I'm sure all of you have tried out ChatGPT. Large language models have become so popular, so I assume that you know how those work. And I take it one step further now. I create a model with more than one LLM agent. And those agents, they work together. They're communicating with each other. They're using tools, and they interact with each other. And if you want, you can supervise them, but you don't have to. So my task was to create a financial reporting system. I wanted to take it one step further and do some investing, but the results were not 100% convincing, so I decided not to invest any real money. But I will show you the output from my experiments with financial investing. I did this in Python. I tried out different models. Maybe there's some even more advanced stuff on the market. I tried out GPT 4.0, 4.1, and also 4.5. You can have agents using different models, communicating with each other at the same time. So this is really crazy stuff. I'm just showing you my first glimpse at that. And I found a really nice course on Udemy for those of you who want to dig deeper. You only need to have a little bit of Python experience. So the point of agentic AI is that you create different agents working on your behalf. You know, ChatGPT is pretty good if you tell it one specific task. But if you want to have too many things at once, if you're saying you are an expert legal reviewer, you are a financial expert, all at the same time, then it's more likely you get some hallucination. So it's better if you create some agents and saying, user proxy, that's basically me, and approximation. So I can give the user proxy basic instructions, and then I created a financial assistant. This is a financial expert, you are a financial expert. And then a writer for the report, and a critic, a researcher, a consistency reviewer who looks at everything at the end and has an eye on if the report is actually consistent. If you want to, you can have more agents. So yeah, a legal reviewer. You are a legal expert. You look at the report and check if it's consistent with existing law. How does this look in Python? I do not assume that you have programming experience. Some of you might have, others not. But you can see that what you have here is some kind of prompts, which you are familiar with from ChatGPT. And that's basically the core issue here. I'm just giving birth, if you like, to some AI agents. I'm saying, you're a professional writer. That's the writing agent, who is able to write informative and engaging finance reports. So I'm basically giving the writer a prompt and defining what it can do. Then I created a couple of financial tasks. So I said, today is a specific date, and I want to have the current prices of some crypto assets. How did their performance change over the past 12 months? It's basically also a prompt, but it's very specific for a financial task. And finally, one task for the writer. I say, the writer, develop a comprehensive report using all provided information that you get from the other agents, create a table containing all the data and so on, and provide some comments and descriptions and compare the crypto assets. So I'm very specific so the writer knows what to do. And the interface is very simplistic. Actually, I created a website, but the thing is, the whole thing is not deterministic. Meaning, if you do it more than once, you get a different result. And I figured out, if you do it 2 or 3 times, then most likely don't work anymore, because those pages where they get the information from, apparently they're checking for IP addresses and they are unwilling to provide further information. So I didn't provide you with a URL here, but it's basically online. So the interface is just, you need to enter some tokens. I entered BTC and Ethereum and then click on start. And now there should be a video running. Let's see if it works. Because the communication is going to start. Is there a video? Yeah. You can see in the background. That's what you cannot see if you are just using this. But if you have a terminal open, then you can see how those agents start communicating with each other. For example, the proxy agent says to the financial writer, hey, this is our task. And then they're creating some code. And the financial assistant says, this is the information that I got. They are really talking to each other in a way we would talk to each other. And this takes for about 6 to 10 minutes. So here they're creating some JSON code. Here they're creating Python code. Like Andras said before, those agents are able to code much better than I can. I just created the initial Python script and said, oh, you create the rest for me. And this is going on, and one agent says to the other, I'm now searching for headlines. And it could happen that one agent tells the other, oh, I did not find any financial information about Bitcoin or Ethereum online. I could not access it. And then the first agent says, you need to look at different websites. So this is going on for about 6 or 7 minutes usually. I can stop it here because this is just a video that I created. And for me, it's kind of fascinating. It looks like some kind of chat that's going on, but it's a chat between machines, and you can read it and follow it. And finally, they are searching for some headlines because I was asking them, search for the news and create some headlines. Initially, they had some in German, but then the reviewer said, no, we want to have it in English. And the other one said, oh, sorry, I'm looking for English headlines. And finally, one of the agents says the task is complete. Feel free to terminate. And now I'm going to show you the results that I got. Basically, I was very, flashed or surprised how good it was, but there was some kind of issues. First of all, I have to say, I gave them a hard time because I did not specify where exactly they should get the information from. And I did not give them an API for a website where I had access. So the first thing, first of all, I show you the communication that came out, just some snippets. For example, the financial assistant told the user proxy the plan. And again, this is what the agent said. The agent basically summarized what I told them to do and finally said, it said, I will start by scraping full names from the website, so CoinGecko, the main listing page. Another example, the financial assistant said to the user proxy, oops, I did not find the table with the main cryptocurrencies on CoinGecko, and basically the website could have some issues. We have a problem here. And then the user proxy told him, oh, please continue. Another example, in the end, we have an agent who is a critic, another agent who is a writer, and the critic said, we have an issue. You said you did not have access to quantitative data, but you reported some numbers here. What's going on? Something is inconsistent. And those are just snippets, and again, the whole file is about 20 or 30 times as long. That's how they communicate. And here is the final report for the cryptocurrencies, and this one has an issue because they really didn't get access to Bitcoin and Ethereum information, so they started hallucinating, and this graph that you see here, that's not correct. And that's one limitation. But again, I gave them a hard time. I could have specified a website where I have access and where I would pay for an API key, and then they would have gotten information. But I didn't do this because I wanted to really see what happens if they do not have data access. So this one is not that good, but I was kind of impressed by the rest of the financial report because they included some really up-to-date information, and I checked this. Might be hard for you to read from the back, but they really had the right Bitcoin prices. And for Ethereum, they came up with some recent incidents saying there has been a $5 million hack on ZK Sync, which was solved yesterday, by the way, and this could affect the price, things like that. And they also wrote here, the new Pectra protocol update is scheduled for May 7th, and that's also correct. So I was impressed by the report. The data was not good, but then I did a second round with some kind of traditional financial instruments or stocks. This was a comparison of Tesla and Apple, and apparently the agents had access to some data, so the numbers looked good here. They came up with some nice figures and tables, and also a nice summary. They compared the financial ratios, they included some comments, and finally they created some kind of interesting summary. For me, that was kind of impressive, and it's definitely a basis for investment decisions. Right at the moment, using the same setup that I have, I wouldn't use it for automated investing, but that's something that might come up in the future, especially if you have access to data that you can trust. So to summarize, I would say AI agents are something that you need to keep in mind, especially if you're in finance or if you're in cryptocurrencies or investing. And they can help you to make some kind of AI decisions or in finance decisions in the future without investing much time. So they can make some autonomous financial decisions for you. The financial services will become way more personalized because within a couple of minutes you get information from all over the world that normally would take you hours or days to collect. This also will improve investment strategies because you have more access to information and you have a much broader knowledge, and also potentially advanced risk management because you can gather information from different parts of the world, from different industry, indicating some potential risk that might come up. And finally, I would assume that in the future there will be also more regulation in the area, and those AI agents also can help you to be compliant with the law. So for me, it was a very impressive experience. I do not need to sell anything, but I can just recommend to anyone who is interested in finance to stay up to date with this topic because that's something that will definitely shape the future of finance. If you want to reach out to me, please, here you have my contact information, and it was a pleasure for me to be here. Do we have time for questions and answers? Are there any questions? Yeah, that's a good point because you pay for the models. I played it cheap, and there's a huge difference. Basically, I did about 20 runs. It cost me 15 euros, something like that. But there's a huge difference. For example, if you use ChatGPT 4.5 or 4.0 mini, factor 10, 15, or even 20. So normally, if I ran a cheap simulation, it cost me maybe 5 to 10 cents. No, for one run. Yeah. You how many companies? I only investigated 2. One times I tried 3, so that's my estimate. Yeah, maybe up to 20 cents. If I was using, I think ChatGPT 4.5 is much more expensive, but I want to be on the cheap side. I also deployed it on Google Cloud, which also costs a little bit, but basically not more than 50 cents for one run. I think you were second, huh?
What is different with the robot advisor?
The robot advisor?
Yes. It's a mini story at the moment that using robot advisor to take investment decisions.
I have not tried out a robot advisor, so I cannot tell you the difference. I think. AutoChain, yes. No, I just used AutoChain. I tried different models, but only models from OpenAI. So I did not try any other systems. I just wanted to see for me how it works, and it worked fine. I was kind of impressed, but the whole space is evolving so fast that I would assume if you spend some time fine-tuning, trying other models, then you might get even better results. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.